Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are going to talk about what to do if you feel like your life is passing you by. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Flora, Minimalism mentor, simplification coach, and 7-time author. For over 26 years, I've been helping women like you align into a life that you are wildly obsessed with by helping you clear out the 9 types of clutter, keeping you from the life that you love. What are those 9 types of clutter? They are mental, spiritual, emotional, digital, financial, daily, body, process, and environmental clutter. My YouTube page is where I share my environmental decluttering tips, and here on the podcast, I share with you how to declutter the rest. Please subscribe or follow this feed so you get notified every time an episode is released. And today we're going to expand upon something that I touched on last week, and that's about feeling like your life is passing you by. And I got to say, this is one of the things that I hear the most that come from people that are new to my coaching, that are popping in, they're seeing videos, and they resonate with the decluttering videos that they see on YouTube. And then they dig into this podcast and they're like, oh my gosh, yes. And when I said that, do you feel like that your life is just passing you by, like it's slipping through your fingers? My inbox was flooded with people that said, oh my God, Flora, yes. Like, first of all, I can't believe I'm the age that I am. I thought that I would have more time to do the things that I want to do. My body isn't the way that I want it. My career or my relationship is kind of wonky. I love my life, but I'm not obsessed with it. It's not my dream life. It's close, but it's not the life that I really envisioned for myself. And there's a lot of wondering, what do I have to do to get that life that I want? What does that even look like? What would that even feel like? And a lot of you told me that you feel like you don't even know where to start to declutter. This is one of the reasons why I recommend that you declutter your environment first, okay? Because if you try to declutter all the other stuff first while you still have clutter in your immediate space, it's going to feel a little bit disjointed. Now, the reason being is because all the stuff in your home is from your past. Unless you bought something like right now. All of it's from your past. Often, when you work on those other types of clutter, the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, the financial, the digital, all that stuff, when you start to recognize what kind of life you want, and you start to declutter all of these other things before your environmental clutter, it's going to feel like you're not making any progress. But when you declutter your physical stuff first, the books, the clothes, the furniture, all the other random stuff, what happens is you start to recognize, wow, like I've had this in my closet for 5 years, never look at it, never use it, get rid of it. It feels fresh. It feels expansive. It meaning your environment, and your life starts to expand. One of the reasons why people have a really hard time getting what they want is there's no room. There's no room. Your hands are filled with the past. Your hands are filled with all the stories from the past, the emotions from the past, the experiences from the past, and the junk from the past. And the cool thing is when you start to declutter the physical stuff, this is so cool, is as you get rid of that, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, your brain starts to process all of these things. Your brain starts to recognize, wow, I don't need that anymore. And, wow, that was a good memory, but I'm good with letting that go. And as you let the physical stuff go, you start to recognize that, wow, you know what? Maybe I can let go some of this emotional stuff. Maybe I can let go some of this digital stuff that I've been holding on to on my devices. Maybe I can let go of some of that spiritual clutter that I have. And you start to see the possibility and the opportunities of decluttering some of the other things in your life. But it all starts with clearing out that physical clutter. Now, I know a lot of you are just like, well, I don't even know where to start with my physical stuff. Watch the videos on my YouTube page. I share with you how to declutter the physical stuff. Also, every other month, I have a lot of resources about this, but every other month we have a virtual decluttering day. This is a 5-hour live event where I coach you on how to declutter your physical space. Check out in the show notes, click the link that says Virtual Decluttering Day. Look at the before and after pictures. The change is remarkable. I mean, absolutely remarkable. And people get so much done in that 5-hour period. The reason why they get so much done is because it's what's called body doubling. Trying to declutter your house yourself is hard. It's challenging because it's easy to go down the rabbit hole of memories and experiences and all the things. And when you have someone there with you, whether it's a friend or myself virtually, what happens is all of a sudden somebody else is there holding you accountable, so you can get so much done. Another cool thing is that you can ask for guidance and support and coaching. Flora, I want to do this, not quite sure how, so I give you strategies on how to tackle a specific space. But in any case, so we also have the Simplified 10-Day Declutter Challenge. Click the link. We're enrolling right now. We also have the 365 Days of Decluttering. This is a program that is literally 365 days long. You will get one email every single day. And I share with you one tip for environmental decluttering. So one thing to declutter in your environment. And then also one thing to declutter in the other 8 areas of your life. So there's tons of different ways to start decluttering. But ultimately, just decide that you want to have something more, something else than what you have. Right now, what you have is you feel like your life is passing you by. Right now, you feel like you have overwhelm. You may have regret. You may feel shame for being the age that you are and not having a life that you're like literally obsessed with, okay? I'm obsessed with my life. I truly am. I live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in a resort-style community. I live right next to the pool and the hot tub. I love it. There's trails all around. I can easily go fly to my kids whenever I want. I can go see my family. It's amazing. And I built this life out of the vision that I had for it. And it all started with getting clear about what I want because I felt like my life was passing me by. I really, really did. You know, I was so sucked into being a mom and being a single mom for a lot of that time. And once I was done raising my babies and they flew the nest and I became that empty nester, I realized, wow, I'm this age and I still have so much more living to do. Okay, how can I do all that living and still have a really incredible home life? Okay, downsize. Because I noticed on the weekends, I spent the entire weekend cleaning the house, doing the garage, doing all the weeding and mowing and edging and all the outside stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was too tired to live my life, maintaining this big thing that I had. So I'm like, all right, let's sell, let's downsize. We rent so that somebody else can deal with the stuff. Like if the AC goes out, we have somebody for that. If we need a plumbing thing, we've got a plumber for that. And that's freedom to me. Now, what feels like freedom to me may not feel like freedom to you, but that's for you to decide what you actually want. And typically, when people feel like their life is passing them by, it's because they haven't gotten crystal clear about what type of life you actually want. What type of life do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to experience? Where do you want to live? Like you can move, there's always a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. God says, ask and you shall receive. And that text, that type of instruction is in so many religious texts and practices. You got to give yourself permission to recognize what type of life do I want. There's actually a fabulous book here I'll show you. If you're watching this video, is Scripting the Life That You Want. This is a fabulous book, and it talks about how to manifest your dreams. You know, you guys have heard the story, if you've been with me for any amount of time, you've heard the story about the book, Write It Down, Make It Happen, and that's the book that changed my life forever. It says, figure out what you want, write it down, put it where you can see it, and like look at it every day and expect it to happen. But you also have to be willing to be guided by the universe for those little breadcrumbs that drop into your brain. All right, do this, do that, do this, do that. And you take those little 1 degree shifts every single day, those little tiny actions every single day. And doing this will align you into that life that you truly, truly want and that life that you desire. And you will no longer feel like life is passing you by. You will recognize, holy shit, like this is my life. Like, somebody pinch me because this is my life. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and if you feel like your life is passing you by and it's like, shit, I can't believe I'm this age and I still haven't done XYZ. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? If you feel that that is you, I'm going to give you a couple tips. So get out your notebook, get out your journal, get out some sticky notes. I got sticky notes here. I should buy stock in them. The first thing, what do you want? What do you want? Plain and simple. What do you want? And if that is too big of a question for you, answer these questions. What do you not want anymore? What do you find overwhelming? And don't say all the clutter, everything. Get specific. What specifically feels overwhelming for you? And if you're still having a hard time, write down these 9 types of clutter: mental clutter, emotional clutter, spiritual clutter, digital clutter, financial clutter, daily clutter, body clutter, process clutter, and environmental clutter. Now, mental clutter, it's the thoughts that we have, or those mental loops. I've done many podcast episodes about this. Spiritual clutter. Do you feel spiritually fulfilled? Do you feel spiritually fulfilled? I am very eclectic in my spiritual practice. I pull from many, many traditions and many paths because I believe there's many paths up the same mountain. Emotional clutter. This is like all the stuff, all the stories we tell ourselves. It's that emotional baggage from our past, our childhood, our relationships, our careers, our body weight, the number on the scale, all that stuff. Digital clutter, it's what's in our devices. It's what's in our devices. Financial clutter, debt, not knowing your numbers, not educating yourself on how to truly master your finances and your wealth. Daily clutter. What's on your to-do list? What is on your to-do list? Again, we've had many episodes about all of these things here. Body clutter. For years, I've said, I want really sexy toned arms, but I never took action. I never took action on that. And this year, I've been lifting weights for like 2.5 months. I'm seeing some toneness going on. And I'm so proud of myself that I'm lifting weights because I've always said, oh, I've got really shitty upper body strength. Even when I was in the Marine Corps, I didn't have really strong upper body. But finally, I'm like, you know what? I've always wanted this, but why have I never taken action on it? What? So I got 1 pound weights, 3 pound, 5 pound, and 10 pound weights. And I just started lifting. I researched and all right, so these are the shoulder muscles. This is the bicep, the tricep, all the things. And I created my own little spreadsheet and, all the things, but that's just kind of how I am. And I started to do those and I would do them. And then the next day I couldn't lift my arms because they were so sore. And I waited until my arms didn't hurt anymore. And then I did it again. And they hurt again. And I just kept repeating that cycle. And then all of a sudden one day I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, look, there's a little shoulder muscle. I'm so proud of myself. And I sent the picture to everybody. I'm like, check it out. And then I got to the point where I outgrew the weights that I have at my house to do certain exercises. I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to use my gym membership. We've been paying for it for like a year and a half. So I'm going to the gym almost every single day, lifting weights, seeing results. So that's part of body clutter is, not eating what you should be eating, or eating stuff that makes you feel like crap, not going to the bathroom, not getting enough sleep, not working out, not moving your body, not educating yourself on how to have a really strong, healthy, fit, and flexible body. Process clutter. This is a big one. This is the steps that it takes you to do something. The A to Z. How many steps does it take for me to do something? And do I really need to be doing this in the first place? And can I shorten the steps that it takes for me to do this? And then, of course, environmental clutter. So if you're having a hard time identifying what you want or what you don't want, write these out: mental, spiritual, emotional, digital, financial, daily, body, process, and environmental clutter. And then say, what of these types of clutter have been getting in the way the most? But just really get clear on what of your life you don't like, and what do you like? What do you love? What lights you up? And allow yourself the freedom to do more of what you like and start to declutter those things that you don't like. And again, I've been preaching and teaching this forever. What resonates with you? What season of life am I in? What are my priorities? What do I want? And start doing more of what you want. When you get clear about what you want and what your priorities really are, those bad habits, all the stuff, all the clutter that gets in the way that's causing life to kind of push you aside and, okay, you wait here while life keeps going, that's no longer going to be an issue. Because what happens when you know what you want, you're going to go get it. Kind of like, oh, I need to go to Sprouts today and I need to get laundry soap, I need to get Greek yogurt, and I need to get some fish for dinner tonight. So what do? You make your list, like, what do I want? You're clear on that. You write it down and you go get it. Or you order it and they, can like deliver it, or you go and you have them load your vehicle with it. It's the same thing with your life. So if you feel like your life is passing you by, and you're not quite sure where to start, there's a ton of resources that I have. Like I said, click the link. I've got several links below. I've got a resources and free gift page on my website. There's a fabulous resource that I have. It's the Decluttering, or the Essential Decluttering Guide, Step-by-Step Toolkit for Success. This helps you declutter your physical clutter. I also have a couple other free gifts. This is very inexpensive. It's like $5. And then I have some free gifts that help you look at your habits, that help you get really clear on some of the things in your life. I also have my programs. I've got my Simplify 10-Day Declutter Challenge that's run both live and self-paced. You get access to both of those. There's also the 365 Days of Decluttering. Again, that helps you declutter not only the environmental stuff, but also the other 9 types of clutter as well. And then we also have our virtual decluttering day, and that's every other month. And then, of course, I have my private coaching, and the private coaching is called Align, and we work in 90-day sprints. Reason why we work in 90-day sprints is because, well, first of all, if you think about working on something for 6 months, people usually feel overwhelmed, and they're like, Now, working at a 90-day sprint, it's 3 months together, working hot and heavy on a specific goal that you have. It is incredible at the speed at which you will achieve your goals when you're working with a collaborative mentor. The reason why that I call myself a collaborative mentor is I don't tell you what to do. We collaborate together. I find out what you want, and I find out the type of clutter that is getting in the way for you the most, and we tackle that clutter. We laser in on it and we remove it so that it's no longer an issue. And then if something else comes up that's preventing you from moving forward, we also look at that as well. So if you're interested in working one-on-one together, click the link below for the Align application. We'll get on the phone, we'll talk. There's no obligation except for you to just show up, share with me what's going on. And if there's a better recommendation out there for you, like maybe you don't need coaching, maybe you could, benefit from just the virtual decluttering day or the 10-day challenge, I'm going to make a recommendation that is best for you. What I want for you is to remove the overwhelm so that you truly can align into the life that you absolutely want, the life that you've been dreaming of, the life that is going to be so fulfilling, where people stop you and ask you what the hell you're doing. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're so freaking happy right now. Like, show me your ways, right? Teach me your ways. Show me what you're doing. And that's what happens with the people that I work with. And I've heard that so, like, more times than not. Is Flora, somebody like stopped me today and they actually asked me what I'm doing because I'm so happy. And this truly is the key to your future. This is the key to your kingdom, is first and foremost, figure out what you want and then go get it. And if there's something that's blocking you that you want my support on, click the link in the show notes. Let's talk. Let's also continue this conversation. If you're watching this video on YouTube, share with us in the comments below if you have ever felt like life is passing you by. And if you're listening to this on any podcast streaming platform, share your comments with me, flora@florasage.com. I read every single comment that comes through. Also, if you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe, share with all your friends, leave a review. Your support helps this podcast and these videos reach more people who also want to declutter their lives, who also want to get rid of the overwhelm and start to align their lives with that dream vision that they have. Remember, all it takes is a clear vision of what you want and the willingness to take one small step in that direction daily to align into a life that you love. I love you, and I hope this serves you today. Mwah! I'll see you in the next episode.